Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we're here to talk about GL Ahsoka Tano. The release has hit from the SWGOH events server. There was a big puzzle, and the SWGOH events server was very much involved, so they solved the puzzle. The puzzle led them to GL Ahsoka Tano, and I believe, is it Night Trooper? Yes, Night Trooper. I will show you guys the graphics there, show you the, the facts, if you will, and then we're going to kind of get into what the impact of this means, kind of speculating on how GL Ahsoka will impact the game. Is now the right time? Because we'll get into, I'll do a whole different video where I talk about the Rex that I think that she could potentially have, but right now I just want to focus on GL Ahsoka Tano. Massive news coming to the holo tables, particularly when you think that we're only a couple days away from this new raid launching and they're announcing the next GL. Like, this is, in many ways, this is great news, and in many ways, this is brutal news because it is just another thing to farm. So, like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Let's give a huge shout to our channel members for their continued support of me, regardless of if I'm streaming regularly or not. Thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. You all are fantastic. Whether you are a Jedi Master on the Wampa tier, and of course, to those of you who are on the Council, you still have a very special place in my heart and in the Fat Phil family. Thank you guys. Let's talk about this game. So we got, I guess we should talk about GL Ahsoka Tano. And where are you? There you are. So we'll get into this, guys. We're going to talk about GL Ahsoka Tano. All right, so listen. Ahsoka is, like, she's the MVP. She's the GOAT. Like, the character development in the Clone Wars is one of the best parts of that show, is seeing this, like, what she was annoying in the beginning. Like, I can remember not liking this character and going on to, like, being, an emotional wreck after watching Victory and Death in season 7. So I absolutely love Ahsoka. And we have 3 versions of her in the game. You've got Commander Tano, you've got Snips, and you've got Fulcrum. So I would assume that GL Ahsoka will be the version that we got in the show, which brings up to question the tags that she will get. Because if we just kind of think about this, the tags that we have for Galactic Legends right now, you've got the Jedi, an unaligned Force user, a Rebel, and then Galactic Republic. Yes, Kenobi has the Jedi tag, but it's Galactic Republic tag that he's utilizing. So Ahsoka, is she going to get that Jedi tag? Is she going to get an unaligned Force user tag? Rebel, High Republic, right? Or New Republic, I guess. We're not sure. And I think that the tags that she will have will be very important because it's going to be indicative of what her team makeup will be. And I think that's what I want us to be thinking about here, is that with her coming to the game and these tags and everything else, it begs the question of what will her team makeup look like. And we kind of have a hint that one of her characters for the squad will already be in the game. What I want to flip over to is the Discord here. And let's make sure that it's on the right spot. Where are you at? Of course you're not doing what I need you to do. Come on. There we go. So there's the, Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano coming to the holo tables, and we got the graphic for the Night Trooper here. Now, why I want to mention a Night Trooper, why is this important? Think about that this is going to be one of the marquee units that more than likely will be required for GL Ahsoka Tano. Well, you can expect that we would get anywhere from 3 to 4 marquee units for a Galactic Legend. We got 4 for Leia, we got 3 for Jabba, we had, 4 for Lord Vader in the Bad Batch. And what was Kenobi? Was Kenobi only 2? Did he only have 2? I'm trying to remember if his was 2 or 3. I think his was only 2. Or I think his was only 1, actually. It wasn't just Bo-Katan. So, we've been pretty consistent with the number of marquee units being between 3 and 4 for a lot of these new releases. Some of them going up to 5 for the Cals and the Inquisitors. So she could potentially get 5, but I think 4 is a safe number. So with 4, what that tells you is Night Trooper probably not going to be in her team. So now that leaves 3 characters who could potentially be in GL Ahsoka Tano's team, which means one of them already has to be in the game. So that should give you a little bit of hope that you might have that character geared up, or that maybe they're not a heavy Kyrotech type character. The other piece of information that was released, I don't know where it is. Arnold was a lot more in touch with this. I kind of completely missed this, guys, and I do apologize. I've just been like nose to the grindstone at work lately and been kind of missing a lot of stuff. But they did announce that Ahsoka Tano snips. She will be a Relic 9 requirement for this Galactic Legend, which I think is an extremely important thing to note. That this is the first Galactic Legend that will have a Relic 9 requirement. And I think it made a lot of sense that it wasn't Commander Tano, because she's probably the most highly relicked of the Ahsokas right now. And then I think also with Fulcrum, she's probably the least relicked one, and I think it would drive certain players to maybe not gear her up because they're like, oh my gosh, like that's just a whole nother thing, where Snips is a very popular character. A lot of people have her unlocked already and probably at relic levels. So making her Relic 9, yes, it sucks, but for most players, they already have a lot more invested into Commander Tano than they do Snips. So I'm fine with the Relic 9, and I would not be surprised if we get another one. I have a feeling that this Galactic Legend is going to up the ante. I was shocked they didn't put a Relic 9 in for Leia, and I was even more shocked when Jabba and Leia each only had one Relic 8. So do not be surprised if this Galactic Legend requires more from you than you're comfortable with these recent GLs. I think this is going to up the ante back up. So very much be saving your Relic 9 materials if you're thinking of going for this character, because you're going to be needing them. And a lot of this that kind of comes back to something I was mentioning earlier is they mentioned this Relic 9 requirement, and then it's basically what, a couple of days, 3-4 days until the raid launches. So the timing of this release, to me, release of information, is indicative of the way that CG has been operating lately. The way the game moves is you get the information, and then the character comes to the game, and then the next thing gets released. That what their mindset is, we gave you 3 months to work on the raid. You should be done and ready for the raid day 1, and then you can be ready for Ahsoka Tano day 1. That's kind of their thought process. Obviously, that's not reality because you're catching up on other things, but that's kind of the flow that the game has been following lately, where they kind of give you enough information so that their goal being day 1 something happens, and then here's the new thing. So the timing of this, it kind of rings true that, hey, everybody's gearing up for the raid, and oh, guess what, here's more gear. But I do think it's good, because I think what Ahsoka will do is free up these Galactic Legends here in territory battles. I think she'll have a huge impact on Rise of the Empire. And all you're going to say, oh, that doesn't matter that much. But that's a huge part of this game. Rise of the Empire, again, is a fixed part of this game. There's a lot of rewards in there. And being able to either put these, like you think, Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Master Luke, and Rey are all heavily utilized by operations, including their squads. So if GL Ahsoka is going to use characters that are not in those teams, it's going to give you a Galactic Legend that's going to get you good waves done while being able to utilize these guys in operations. And that's going to make everything easier and get guilds progressing faster. So that's why I think she's going to be very important in territory battles, is she won't be required for those operations, allowing you to have that flexibility to donate a Kenobi, a Rey, or a Jedi Master Luke, and you're not missing out on anything crazy. Now, the last thing I want to mention about this topic here with GL Ahsoka is something just to set your expectations on. The biggest lesson you can learn with this GL is patience, right? Be patient. Do not start panic farming anything yet. We don't know what the requirements are going to be outside of Snips and probably Night Trooper. We don't know. And I would not do anything until you hear more. Not only because of like, oh, you could waste gear, but what happens if it comes out that you're going to need 3 Relic 9s and you're not prepared for that? Like, don't go investing in a Relic 9 Snips because she's going to be needed for GL Tano if you're not going to be able to complete the rest of the requirements. So I will tell you right now, do not panic farm anything. Just bide your time, wait and see what this character is. Not only just how good they are, but what else is required for them. Like, maybe she requires Commander Tano, right? So now, like, you've got to have a conquest unit. Maybe they, there's the possibilities here are endless. Them requiring a Relic 9 means the doors are open for a lot of crazy things to be happening. So I want you to pump the brakes a little bit. I want you to just, bide your time. And with the Night Trooper coming, that could mean that we're either getting a rework to one of our all-time favorite characters, or potentially maybe getting a new version of Thrawn entirely. So just think through that. This could be the, start of the Ahsoka series coming into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Are you excited for her? Not so much. I want to hear about it. We will do a separate video where I speculate on the requirements, because there's going to be some very hot takes in there, and a lot of you are going to get very pissed off at me, and I'm so here for it. So I'm excited, guys. If I seem a little bit more subdued, it's because I've got my two beautiful daughters sleeping behind me, trying to get the content out at night for you guys. I love you all so much. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, my friends.